Welcome to your doom.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
I was downtown. I was doing a painting.
They
set
look
up.
pretty cool. I don't know if you saw him. He posted them.
Yeah,
They look good.
it's fun to paint, but like I don't know what it is, but like the unhoused, love it when I do this.
I appreciate you saying that. It's very PC of you.
I think it's more fun to say unhoused. I'm saying it for the wrong reason. It's like it's more offensive. Like
Unhoused, but not unloused.
yeah, there you go. Yeah. So they're just like this one guy came up to me a couple times. The first time he came up to me, he said, "Thank you for your art." And he said, "Your art makes me want to be a better person." And when you like, I had the earphones in with the string going to the ear, so I'm like, "Thank you," And then same guy comes back a couple times.
And I'm sorry, how do you know he was unhoused? Or you just knew?
I was downwind.
Okay, I get it.
But so then he comes back, and this was the one I was really laughing at. He comes back later, and he goes, "Hey, I don't mean to interrupt you." So I'm like, "Okay." So I turned to him, and then he goes, "So these glasses are not prescription?" So he takes them off, and he goes, "I have to go meet with someone. Do I look better with them on or off?" And my first thought was, I was just like, "And you said you didn't want to interrupt me."
You said that?
No, I didn't say that, but I'm like,
dude, that's
I'm like, they look fine either way.
Yeah.
But it was
should
like
have been like nondescript answer.
I really just wanted to be like, "Do you want to come and like press your penis against this painting or something? You seem to really need to get in on this."
Oh, you already are. Never mind.
Yeah. I got unhoused stamped. So, anyways, welcome to Non Essentials Podcast, episode 135.
135.
I don't have a clever nickname, but we're brought to you by the Comedy Cabin from downtown Janesville.
Yeah. I'm Adam Dick Painting Riley.
There you go. I'm Jake Bussey. I want to say real quick, Comedy Cabin. Comedy Cabin, cabinlaughs.com. Seriously, if you haven't been yet, we've been yapping about it enough. Talk to your friends, bring them down there. It's a great time. I forgot who I just recently seen down.
Ben Bailey.
Ben Bailey. We saw the Cash Cab guy.
Yeah.
Down there in Janesville.
It's pretty cool.
It was awesome.
Yeah. So and honestly, like a lot of people, I don't know if you watch the internet show on YouTube, Kill Tony, but like a few of the regulars that like are headlining.
Casey Rocket was just there.
Casey Rocket was there. Tony Casillas was there. So like, I don't know, it's pretty cool, man. Like you're like, I see you on TV, and now you're in front of me, so I don't know. I have a question for you. I came across an article and I'm pretty excited to bring it up because I want to hear like some of your opinions because we have some listeners in the audience as well. Now, I'm going to start this off by saying that I've just been recently on a bunch of flights, so like, I mean, I'm well versed as far as when it comes to travel and stuff like that. I've been doing it for a long time. And I just want to do a snippet here. I had a buddy. I went to Brazil like 2 weeks ago, and I brought a buddy with me.
I went to Brazil.
No. Well, I went to go do some jiu-jitsu down there, and I brought a gym buddy with me. Now, he's a younger guy, had never been on a plane before, right? So we're going through TSA. Now, keep in mind, this isn't like walking up to the line of TSA. This isn't like 10 minutes after TSA. We're literally waiting for our bags to get X-rayed. We're standing there, we'd already gone through, and he makes a joke about having schmeshmoshmivs.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
A schmom, in his bag.
I did the same thing when we traveled at one time.
No, he like makes a joke about something explosives, and I go, "Hey, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up right now." And I don't talk like that.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't talk to people, but I was like, he's like, "What?" I was like, "Shut the fuck up."
Yeah.
Like, this is not, and I didn't say anything else. And we get to our gate, and, and I wasn't giving him stink or anything like that, but I kind of like, he sat down, and I just kind of like leaned in and go, "Hey, man." And he goes, I know, I get it. I'm sorry. I'm like, okay, cool. It's like, dude, they will not think that's very funny. Like that is like the fastest way to get a cavity search, right? But
maybe that's what he was into, though.
Yeah, there we go. Hello, I want to get turned into a puppet. Yeah. So anyway, I'm curious, like, because you've gone traveling before, you know, like, what kind of airport guy are you?
In regard, I want to get through everything as fast as possible.
Okay, sure.
I don't know,
but I'm saying like your flight is at we'll say noon, right?
Sure. Okay.
And it's it's an hour away.
Okay.
What are you doing?
I want to get there at least an hour before my flight.
Okay. Yeah.
It's just to get through the stuff, if not even before, because I get there, eat some shit.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Like, how many games are on your phone right now? Just fucking get there.
For me, I'm like kind of like, yeah, I'll take that $12 burger from McDonald's, when I could have gotten a $6 one. But so anyway, so with that being said, I would rather like hurry to the airport and like take my time at the gate instead of like, like
I'm the same way with
take
movies.
my time. Yeah, there you go. Take my time to the airport and hurry at the gate. I just hate that. Like, I'd rather just be on location and relax.
Yeah.
Well, a man recently found out the best way to have his wife not talk to him for a few weeks after the recent trip is with the following. They were at an airport, and they were flying to visit their daughter in college. Now, I want to say that, like, he's 47, she's 43, right? They're kind of old enough to know better. Obviously, they have the college-age daughter. But first, they want to get to the airport, and they've gone through TSA. But his wife decided that she needed some Starbucks, right?
Okay.
Some airport Starbucks. So
I'm already hoping something happened. Go. Keep
so
going.
this is a very classic, like type A husband, type B wife kind of thing, right? Not to generalize, but I feel like that's kind of the issue usually, right? So I do need to mention that this is not the first time he suffered the consequences of her like laissez-faire attitude towards like flight. They have actually missed a flight in the past because of her. Okay, now he recalls the past incident where like she was just dragging her feet and whatnot, and so like I said, they ended up completely missing the flight. Now he wasn't going to let this Starbucks trip jeopardize his time with his daughter, because she's off to college or whatnot.
Okay.
He boarded the flight and made multiple attempts to contact her. He kept calling her and calling her. I think he called her 4 times, right? And every time she'd answer, like, "Oh, I'm still in line. I'm still in line." Well, anyway, she chose to continue to wait in line and miss the flight, and he did not get off the flight.
Good.
And he's like, "Well, get a ticket then."
Well, I look at it like technically he saved probably a couple $100 by both of them having to not buy a secondary ticket.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Well, I mean, I wonder if they make you buy a ticket, because I almost think like, oh, I honestly would probably be like, I had diarrhea, or something like that.
She's going to show up with a Starbucks cup.
Yeah, I'm like, what do you think gave me the diarrhea?
Yeah.
But no, so she literally would not talk to him for like over a week upon the return flight.
That's fine. He had room for his stuff next to him on the flight.
I like to put my feet up.
I mean, this is a great way for them to learn. I mean,
and that's what like.
But also, I will say, if you're married to this person and she's already made you miss a flight before, I would get there even sooner.
It's not. Yeah,
I would borderline be like, hey, let's get there sooner so we can hit Starbucks.
Can I tell you this?
Get the cold brew on the way.
I'm kind of like that guy that if I know that they are like that, like if I know, and this isn't even about her, like honestly, like Jake, if I knew that you were like just a perpetually late guy, I'd be like, hey man, like I got our tickets, flight's at 11, like so let's get there, but the flight's at 12. You know what I mean? So I was just like, oh,
that's what I'm saying. Like it's like Kentucky Winditcher a little more.
Yeah, there you go. So, but anyway, so I guess like he posted this like on the those like the Am I the Asshole like forum things, like asking.
Oh, you're always the asshole.
No. He posted this.
No, I'm saying like people that comment on those. There's probably a few people defending it.
Well,
the majority of people are probably just being like, yes, she needed that Starbucks.
Reddit users overwhelmingly sided with the husband, criticizing the wife as selfish and disrespectful of others' time. Because I'll tell you, like one thing that I hate is when people are late. Like if you're just perpetually late, not like, oh my God, I'm gonna be, but if I'm
like I missed my period. So
going down the stairs.
Yeah.
So, but twice. But no, but if you're like perpetually late, if you're just like that late person, to me, it's like, man, you just do not respect other people's time.
Okay.
So that's how I feel like with her, right? That she just does, like she's just constantly.
Well, he's married to her. I mean, it's like.
Yeah. Anyway, so but many emphasize the wife's
I agree with you, but it's like this is one of those. It's also kind of a nice response to be like, hey, enjoy your flight, figure it out.
But can I say the other thing too is that they weren't like going to on vacation. They're going to visit their daughter. You know what I mean? So if he's like, well, see, when I get there, I'll start the hike.
She's probably like her mom anyways. He's going to get there. She's going to be late picking him up.
She's getting Starbucks.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I was going to say, do you remember the one time that we went to San Francisco and I almost said bomb in an airport because I was taking tattoo machines in a backpack, and this is back when we had coil machines, and I was bringing 3 of them.
Power supplies.
And they were equally
cords.
spaced, and then a power supply with a digital readout, and all the cords are wrapped around this, and I'm sending it through the x-ray, and I'm just seeing this x-ray in my mind, and it slides through, and then they just give it to me.
A bunch of flares taped together.
Yeah. That's what I mean. It might as well have had a fucking clock with Acme sticks on it. And they just gave me the thing, and I almost said, that doesn't look like a bomb. Because it just very clearly looked like
a bomb in an airport.
Yeah. And there I was, not getting cavity searched.
Oh, what a bummer.
Yeah. So,
Anyway, so I think we can all agree, gents, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I didn't know if we're gonna have any any contrarians be like, well, actually, he should have probably waited for her and deboarded. So I think and I do want to say that the
I'd be like, I was saving your seat.
Keep in mind, if they were, if let's say it was a anniversary trip, probably should get off, right? He should probably
hopefully you get off on your anniversary.
Oh, that's the Smile High Club.
Oh, okay.
So, but anyway, but like I said, he was gonna go visit his daughter. He wanted more time with her.
I actually saw something that I wanted to go into, and I've heard of this. It's kind of
what's his name?
It's a guy that I met. It's a homeless guy downtown. He said my art changed his life. He wanted to get into my house. But
you want to use your back door to get in your house.
Like, so recently I've seen online.
This guy gets it.
I've seen online. There's been like this test kind of going around, and I think a lot of people have kind of heard of it. But have you heard of aphantasia?
Is that where the brooms are carrying water buckets?
That's what I think of with Mickey the whole time. No, exactly.
Is that the song?
I don't know.
It's like March of the Sun.
It's a song.
Okay, it is.
So with aphantasia, basically what it is the ability to picture something in your mind. And what I've learned recently is that some people are actually completely blind in the mind, where it's like there's this little fun aphantasia, and for the YouTube listeners, I'll put it up. But basically, it's like a 1 to 5 rating schedule.
Can I see?
Well, so this is a different one. You saw the Apple one before. This has like brains.
Okay.
And so basically, if you think of like
in this instance, you spelled it aphantasia.
Yeah, it's a weird one. It looks like aphasia, which is something completely different.
Okay.
So what this is, it had a picture of like 5 different heads, and in one head, in the rating of 1, it would be picture an apple in your head, and then the number 1 is a very descriptive version of an apple. It's got like the sun reflecting off of it. You can see it's got like a little leaf, and all the way up
ready for the farmer's market.
Exactly, like all the way over to 5, where 5 is like no picture of an apple, and that's what some people do see.
Just says the word apple.
It's like that, and that's the other thing. Some people don't even have like an inner monologue. That's also a foreign thing.
Oh man!
And they'll be like, "What do you mean?" You'd be like, "You don't hear a voice in your head when you're like reading," and they're like, "No,
man." My inner monologue is every time I'm like, "You fucking weak bitch, you fucking pussy, you can't fucking do it, you can't do it." I'm like, "Yes, I can."
That's an inner critic.
Yeah,
you got to tame that guy.
I heard that like when you have that, that's actually your dad yelling at you when you're a kid.
Yeah. Is that why mine whispers under his breath?
Yeah, like
fucking piece of shit. But actually,
aphasia.
It's aphantasia. So it's I'm overpronouncing. Aphantasia was probably it.
Okay.
But they say in this that like your ability to really see clearly can be called hyperphantasia, and then aphantasia is like the opposite of it. And people are somewhere in the middle. I would say for me, I'm like a 1, 2. If I'm hungover or something, I might be a 3. But I generally, if anything, I get distracted by the little movie going on in my head.
I have to tell you, and I don't know, maybe like when I picture things, I picture like a CAD design.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I could probably explode it and do a 360 view. Yeah. You know, like so like I brought up to a few friends, and actually what was interesting is the couple of friends that I thought were on the other side of the spectrum, they were. And it was my one buddy, he works as like a parts manager, and he's very good at like categorizing. He runs all the fantasy football stuff. And so he can picture everything. No,
he's like I don't have anything. But then he's like, then if I do mushrooms, I have everything. So it's one of those and that's maybe one of those, maybe with like mushrooms, that's why I don't really feel the need to, because like people do mushrooms and talk about the shit I'm already talking about. So like
yeah.
I don't need to go there. I know they always they want me to go to the festival in the woods. It's Enchanted Forest. It's like they're like a 3-day movie fest or a 3-day music festival.
Where? In Wisconsin?
I think it's in Illinois.
Oh.
But they're like, it's awesome. There's music all night. And there's lasers in the woods. We just do mushrooms. I'm like, if you take me to the woods and you have me do mushrooms with lasers, we're going to be on the news. You know, like I will win. I don't know how.
Naked guy throws poop at people.
Right. Man thinks himself predator and collects spines. So it did say here, tests suggest that 4% of people have no inner picture. And congenital aphantasia.
You said 4 people?
4%. Yeah.
I mean? Yeah.
It says, and congenital aphantasia means there's a 21% chance that if you have this, you'd have a direct relative would be like either your kid or your parent would also not have.
So you pass it down?
Yeah, which might be like kind of an inner structure genetic thing.
I've known. I mean, I can think of like one person in particular that is just I would say was one of the most vapid, like uncreative people I've ever met in my entire life. To where I'm like, what? You just don't get it? Like it's and I would be willing to bet that on the scale they would be. What's one less than one? Right. But like I get it because it's like, how do you not see this? Like, right. This is like I don't, and you try to be like nice, and they're just like, nah, I just don't.
I've honestly started thinking about when I strongly disagree with someone, or when they hear the same thing I hear, and they come to a wildly different conclusion. Yeah. I think it might be the result of stuff like this, where fundamentally we're just different thought processes. Yeah. Like not having an inner voice is such a strange concept to me. I honestly can't imagine going to the grocery store without that checklist kind of running in my head, even when I have the checklist. Yeah. You're like, you're a piece of shit, you forgot.
Mine, like, literally, I call myself a piece of shit.
Yeah. How are you not being chased around your life by a little guy calling you a worthless piece of shit? Why do you even get out of bed?
Yeah, that's the only thing making me do better.
You just get out of bed because you're hungry? Just, hi, food. You don't even get that. You're just like, yeah, it's like a Dune. You're like a Bene Gesserit.
For me, I'm just like, go ahead, piss yourself, you piece of shit. Yeah, get out of bed. Yeah, that's funny. You said Dune, and you haven't even acknowledged your fleshlight over here.
This is my recommendation. Obviously, you've heard of Dune.
YouTube listeners or viewers, Jake has his Dune fleshlight up.
Dude, the Dune popcorn bucket is the biggest thing that I like that I thought I wouldn't give a shit about ever. As soon as I got there, and I'm like, is that the Dune bucket? They're like, yeah.
Hold on. Did you ask? Is that what else would that?
I don't know.
Hold on. Seriously, what else would it be?
We went there. I was like, it was more like, oh, is that the Dune bucket? But what was strange?
Is that the sky above me?
Yeah. What was strange was she was like, do you want? He's like, do you want it? And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Like, do you want popcorn in it? I'm like. This felt like, again, like I didn't have a voice in my head.
You mean, can you just fill with lube?
Yeah, because I guess people are buying it to like resell it, and I'm like, that's like.
Oh, I see. Okay, I didn't think about that. Yeah, sure.
That why would you? That's like getting toys and not playing with them for me, which some people do.
I mean, Tony's right here, man.
I know.
What are you talking about?
I wish I could get the enjoyment. Yeah. I feel like I would wake up sleepwalking playing with them. Like my reptile mind would grab the wheel when I was unconscious, and I'd wake up, and all the plastic would be ripped up like some kind of
crashing two Spider-Men together.
Some kind of stupid child, Dr. Jekyll.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'll tell you, I saw all the memes, and I do appreciate that this particular one is filled with a bottle of. Do you want to unleash this? Yeah. What's the name of this character?
That's a Shud Hala.
Shud Hala.
I'm probably pronouncing it wrong.
This particular one is puking up an entire bottle of Gentleman Jack. So thank you very much, Dune.
It's the water of life.
Yeah.
For all you Dune fans out there.
Man,
excellent movie too. I loved it.
I get it.
I'm a big sci-fi guy. And this was probably one of my favorite. Can I tell you about the movie experience getting to the movie?
Let's hear it.
Okay, so we wanted to take the kids too. And we had to go down to the McChesney Park one, which was it was at 4:00, so we were picking the kids up at 3:15.
Can I just ask you this? Yeah. Why would you drive 40 minutes away versus, is it not at local theaters?
We would have to get them out of school early to get to the Beloit one.
Okay.
So we're picking the kids up, and right as
John Cena.
Right as they're coming out, a tornado warning goes off. And it's not even raining or anything, it's just tornado warning. And I see them start to corral the kids back into school. So I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. Let's go inside, too, because of tornado warning. And we went down in the school, get down to the tornado shelter. As soon as I locked eyes with Quinn and Roy, I go, all right, let's go. So we're getting out, and all I heard was the principal on the way out just kind of say, well, I guess the bussies don't care. I was like, dude, I wanted to see a tornado my whole life. I've never seen one. I'm not seeing one today. I'm not being late for this move. And then I proceeded to drive through the heaviest rain I've ever driven through my entire life. It was I couldn't see more than 10, 15 feet from. I was like, there's a white line. I had an internal GPS of where I was because I grew up around here. Otherwise, all the way from Janesville to Beloit. And I heard you were in the same thing on the fucking highway, too.
Yeah, but I wasn't chasing white lines, you drug addict. No, well, I actually was like, I think those are car lights 10 feet in front of me. Yeah. I don't know. No, I'll tell you. But one thing are you done talking about Dune?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay,
go see it. It's great. I loved it.
So I haven't seen it yet, but I saw that. I don't know how to say the guy's name. Denis Villanueva.
It's French. No one knows how to say it.
Yeah,
I've heard it a zillion different ways.
I don't speak French, but I happen to kiss that way. Oh. Ooh. So anyway, I'll show you afterwards. So anyway, so Dennis, he had Dune 2 shown to a dying man a month before it was released.
Oh, I
thought that was really neat, right? But here's the thing: is that like the article did say that the guy died like a couple days later, and like I don't know if I want to see that movie now.
It's the ring.
The ring. 2 days. It's just the earthworm coming out.
Like he saw a tomb.
Oh,
because he died.
Man. Yeah, I get it. Hey, so I gotta tell you something. Let's segue. Let's do an about face.
Sure.
Recently, Madagascar's parliament passed a law allowing for a chemical and surgical castration of those guilty of raping a minor.
Yeah.
I fucking love this. Like, dude. And, like, Madagascar's doing this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, this is like a developing country. Like, why aren't we, like, you know, bit ahead of the curve here?
Are you saying that billionaires and politicians aren't on board with fucking minors?
Oh, dude, Jake's going to get suicided. I might say that. All right, so.
When did you see Dune 2 days ago?
All right, so a law faces criticism from international rights groups, but finds support from activists aiming to deter a rape culture in Madagascar. The Justice Minister cites a rise in child rape cases, with 600 cases recorded in 2023 and 133 so far in January 2024.
I'm going to bravely say that's too many minor rapes.
It is. And I want to make sure that we're talking about we're talking about children. We're not talking about people like looking for coal underground.
I don't want them getting raped either.
I mean, if I had to pick, like, I think like a coal miner could like take it a little bit better. He's like, well, it's this or black lung. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it'd be easy to find the perp. Let's see that dirty penis.
Oh, it'd be the clean one. It'd be clean. Yeah. All right. Man, fucking cut.
No.
Okay, so anyway.
No, let's hammer this out.
There's 600 cases recorded in 2023.
Guy's got diamonds in his ass.
Which sounds a lot like 1,200 testicles, so will hopefully be confiscated from their owners. And I know what you're thinking right now. You're thinking like, man, Adam really knows his testicle math, right? But I just wanted to say, like, I was kind of doing the spread there, because I'm sure that there's at least a couple without, with like one. But then I was like, well, maybe there's some with three. You know, like to even it out.
Could be two with one.
Just clanking together. You know. I don't know. So anyway, so you're probably asking yourself, like, who gets a chop and who gets the hormones, right? You know, because you got the surgical or chemical. And Thias, since you're here, do you know how to make a hormone? You don't pay her, right? So anyway, so surgical castration is mandated for those guilty of raping children under 10.
Good.
Yeah, fuck them all, right? So while those between 10 and 13 face surgical or chemical castration, and the way I understand it is kind of like dealer's choice, I suppose. It's almost kind of like the severity of the case.
Sure.
But then the chemical castration applies to rapes of minors age 14 to 17.
Okay.
So basically, I think the more like, I don't know why, but I get it. I get why they're doing this. In my opinion, it's like just, you know, like just put a rubber band around all of their balls, right? You know, just be done with it, you know. But like, but I guess, well,
you're labeling the more dangerous ones.
I think so, yeah. Because like I think if it's under 10, you're pretty demented.
Yeah,
it's all pretty demented, but you're real
cause.
Demented. Yeah.
I think you should take the penis too, eunuch.
Oh, for sure, like, absolutely. But so chemical castration
what do you do with the kids? Take his toys, you know.
Yeah. There you go. No, I mean, you're not wrong. So offenders face, on top of the castration, they also face, potential life sentences as well, you know, of imprisonment, which honestly, like, I can be very draconian when it comes to, like, my punishments. You know, it's like, dude, this kind of stuff, like, obviously, like, in Norway, when in the Scandinavian countries, like, they're like, well, you know, like, no matter what you do, like, you get, I think, a maximum of 21 years or something like that. I can't remember what it is. But now, granted, they can.
That's good news for the truly demented.
No, like, and it is weird to me. And it's very, like, it's, I guess, nice in a way if you think about it from the like, well, we're all good and we all deserve redemption. But sometimes, in my opinion, like I said, I'm very draconian with stuff. And honestly, I think that people just need to get put down like dogs if they do this kind of shit to people, right? Mm-hmm. But I digress. Anyway, so critics, including Amnesty International, denounced the law as inhumane and degrading treatment, inconsistent with unconstitutional laws, highlighting flaws in the criminal justice system and medical authorities' capacity to carry out procedures. Right? And now, like I said, honestly, this is a little frustrating to me because we're not talking about like something you might do accidentally. We're not talking about like jaywalking here. Right? We're like, well, you did that. Whoops. You ran that stop sign. We're talking about like a horrific thing that will damage someone the rest of their life, mentally and emotionally. Right? So I guess if you don't want, and this is my high horse. I'm sorry. This is my soapbox.
Sure.
Right? But if you don't want inhumane or degrading treatment, you shouldn't act inhumane or degrade children. It's pretty easy stuff. Right? Okay. I mean, you guys are fathers. Actually, I'm the only non-parent here, and so I feel like it's like the easiest thing to do is to not hurt a kid.
Sure.
So anyway, so I hope that like this does so well and that rates drop and more countries follow suit with Madagascar.
Yeah, it's kind of obvious stuff. The only when people saying in the negative, I always just think that's for their voting base. If that makes sense. Like if they have voters that are sympathetic to this, which again, maybe they can't see an apple. I don't get it.
I just kind of want to see I want to see the list of the people that don't like it. And I want to check their browser history. Anyway, all right. See if you can get us out of kid rape. Go ahead.
New study suggests plants can see color and feel pain.
All right.
Are we out?
I don't think we are.
All right.
But...
A plant from South America, where you just were, this is actually pretty interesting. It can alter the features of all of its leaves. It's the Boquilla trifoliata blends in perfectly with whatever tree it grows on. So it's a vine, and I was looking into this. Pretty interesting.
It's like a chameleon vine.
Yeah. So the vine, the leaves just mimic what it grows on.
Dude, do you remember the Ruins? That movie?
Exactly. Yeah.
Have you guys seen The Ruins? There's my movie recommendation.
It's a good horror movie.
Watch The Ruins.
Yeah.
Was there a book?
Yeah, there was a book. It was good.
Okay. I feel like we've talked about this in the past. I think you read the book.
Yeah, it was.
But the movie's great. But I don't want to spoil it. But like
tricky plant.
Tricky plant.
So what's interesting is this plant, even on the same vine, can mimic different leaves. Like if it grows past a different plant and it's by a different leaf, it can mimic it. And the idea is to kind of like blend. And so there were a couple hypotheses of
like T1000
how this could happen. And they thought it was potentially horizontal gene transfer, where by contact or through bacterial.
Isn't most gene transfer horizontal?
In hormones?
No, we're talking about missionary position.
Yeah.
YouTube viewers are watching me rub my hands together like I'm plotting something, but that's two people fucking. Hell yeah.
Anyway. How do they do it? Okay. All right.
Did you notice it took that long, too?
Yeah. But another wilder theory they call, I don't actually think it's that wild, is that plants can actually see. Now, this seems like a new idea, but it's actually been around since 1905 when Austrian botanist, Galadid Haberland, suggested that the outer layer of the cells on a leaf could actually act as a lens focusing the rays of light onto light-sensing cells, which is what a plant is basically comprised of.
I was picturing more like Daredevil, like from Marvel, like to where like almost like it felt vibrations or something, you know.
Well, so altogether it's called Ocellus. They did one test and they need to basically collaborate it because they were basically wondering if this could be a bacterial transfer of the genes. And so what they did, and this is brilliant to me, fucking had it grow on a fake plant.
Ooh.
And as the vines went up, the leaves themselves did change and start to mimic the plant.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So a lot of science is no, just yet. But it's like, this is at least evidence.
That kind of says a lot.
Yeah.
Actually.
So that they can sense, and we've heard they can talk on this podcast and feel pain essentially. So your move, vegans.
Yeah. There you go. So, hello, vegetarians.
Yeah. How horrible is a cornfield now?
Besides all the habitats and little bunnies you're killing every time.
Yeah.
Deer.
So
just thrown into a combine. Look at that, you vegetarians.
So Tony had actually just brought up that Logan Paul is going to be fighting Mike Tyson.
Oh yeah, I have. If I found out that Logan Paul was paying people to take a dive, now granted, to go with Joe Rogan, but I've heard that Joe Rogan's like he can box,
sure,
he can box, but and he's picking like these like just, like kind of I don't want to say has-beens, but just like they peaked a while ago.
They have been,
yeah. But he's picking all these like pretty much his heroes that he grew up watching to beat up.
I will say Mike Tyson has the potential to do the funniest thing ever. There's your YouTube short. Spits it back at him. I mean, that would be. I would love it. And I think you had mentioned before that like Tyson, he made a lot of money off his podcast. His weed, he's turned into a great publicist for himself.
Dude, yeah, he's doing very, very well.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, speaking of his read, I watched, here's my little, if you want to search this out, but there's a bit where Norm Macdonald and Tyson are, Tyson's on Norm Macdonald's show. I'm not going to delve into it. I'll let you guys listen. Hopefully maybe you'll get intrigued enough. But listening to Mike Tyson try to read something out loud was jarring.
Yeah, that's not fair.
And that is like, I don't know. I don't even know if you can blame that on CTE because I think it was pretty similar.
No, Tyson would have been castrated in Madagascar.
I mean, there you go. Tyson is a people forget that Mike Tyson was jailed and served time for rape.
Yeah.
So
sometimes I think about that inmate that day. That I wonder who my new jailmate's going to be.
Yeah.
And then just
hope it isn't someone that can beat me up and rape me.
Are you Tyson? God damn it.
Oh, no.
So everybody's laughing at you.
Can you tell me about
Billy
that?
got Tyson.
Yeah.
What's he in for?
Hold on. I'm not sure if it's him or not. Let's read him this and see if he can talk about this lady that sells seashells down by the seashore. Oh, no. All right. Speaking of which, this is actually a writing from listener R. And he was excited to let me know about this. Did you know which animal has the largest penis to body ratio?
Are you going to say you?
I am an animal.
Oh, is it a walrus?
No.
Isn't it the walrus? Is that this is the one with the bone?
You're thinking of you're thinking of 50 First Dates. Remember they're like in the movie 50 First Dates, he goes, the walrus actually has the second largest penis in the animal kingdom. They're like, what has the first? It's like me.
Oh,
right?
I just deconstructed that entire joke. It's just the pieces of it. I can't form a real memory.
No, this is a like penis size to body ratio. Right?
Okay.
Now I want you to think of remember what was that Chihuahua dog's name?
Herman.
Dude,
Yeah.
Jake had this dog Herman. I think
it's Tilla Garden.
Didn't you?
It's just
He was like plowing.
We let him out when it was raining. Just planted stuff behind him.
That thing was like a third penis.
Yeah.
You were like, and I'm sorry, I shouldn't say a third like the number, but like a third of his body was like penis weight.
He's like the warthog plane, where it says mostly gun.
But you've been watching too much Halo lately.
No, the A30, A130.
Oh,
it's like that's a flying cannon. It slows down when it shoots. Like
I thought you were saying Warthog from Halo.
Oh no,
okay,
no, yeah.
All right. So anyway, take two. Do you know which animal has the largest penis to body ratio? Anyone? Listeners? Tony? Tyus? No? Okay, so the barnacle. The barnacle wiener is 8 times as long as their body.
Nice.
Yeah.
How big is the barnacle pussy?
I'm going to talk about that in a second.
Is this basically a barnacle pussy?
Hold on.
Okay.
Nice. So anyway, so you think that they'd be like super confident, right? But they're like notoriously clingy. Whatever. Fuck you. Anyway, so I decided to look into this fact, and I found a few more interesting facts about barnacle dogs. Right?
Sure.
The barnacle can taste and smell through their dick.
Oh, what a What a trick, God.
It smells like balls down here.
These things keep going extinct.
No, they are actually, like barnacles are actually hermaphrodites, but they cannot fertilize their own eggs. Much like, unlike Cartman's mom, right?
Okay, sure.
But no, they, so basically, and I don't know, maybe for YouTube viewers, if you want to like put a thing out for barnacles, but like they just unfurl the shit right out of their body. It's pretty interesting looking, and it's like it seems like science fiction.
So it's just mostly penis.
It's like this, like almost like a fern. If I had to describe it, like a fern.
I wonder if it can see.
A fern coming out of like a hole, right, and just unfurling, right?
It's out of a fern gully.
Yes. What's? Oh man, I wish I could. What's the bat's name?
Batty.
I did not know that. Was it really Batty?
I think so. Yeah, it was Robin Williams.
Oh my God. All right. Anyway, but like imagine like, but they can't. So they catch all the shit from their neighbors, right? And they get knocked up, and then
The nature's gross.
yeah, it really is. So anyway, so one last barnacle fact, right?
Where's that David Attenborough? He unfurrows his cock.
So one last fact, obviously there's a few here, but one that really kind of blew my mind is that their faces, the head of a barnacle, is the thing that fuses. Like because when I was looking at videos of these things like opening up and unfurling, sure. I was like, oh, that's its mouth, right? Yeah. Or something. But its head is what fuses to a rock or like a boat or whatever, right? Mm. And so they're essentially hanging their like ass and dick out, like every time like they open up out into the water.
Not a bad life.
I mean,
just showing off.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like the I just never thought it. To me, it's like it's weird to think like, oh yeah, they're animals. You think it's almost like a weird plant or something. But yeah, it's like just their genitals hanging out.
Sure.
That way, I can relate.
Can I swing you right into something that involves genitals hanging out?
Hell yeah, let's do it.
So Adam gave me
prom night?
Adam gave me a topic to look up, and the whole went pretty deep. Do you remember Rachel Dolezal?
Oh yeah, the most recent blackface.
So the description: Rachel
Besides
Dolezal, the white woman and former National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, the NAACP chapter president, who courted major controversy nearly 10 years ago for falsely claiming she was black.
Was that 10 years ago?
No, has been fired from her position with an Arizona school district over an OnlyFans account.
Dude, please put some of the. I did not look up like her OnlyFans, but like
I did.
Oh, did you?
I mean, I got the little picture for her. Like I'm not gonna pay to see anything. I'm not gonna like. This is the most.
No, you just got to go to Reddit, dude.
I just want to know: is it under interracial or not? But she's not letting it die either, too. So where it's like Dolezal was employed with the Catalina Foothills School District as an after-school instructor, but was let go a week ago after administrators were made aware of her. Which means that someone found her,
Yeah, you cannot be a teacher and have an OnlyFans. You'll be found out pretty quickly. Dude, there was a teacher, I went to, a school I went to for my senior year here in Janesville. It was like rumored that the librarian posed for like Playboy in like the 80s.
Nice.
You know what I mean? We're like, and so I look at her like, I can see it. I bet. It's never confirmed.
Mentally taking her glasses off.
Yeah,
and furrowing her bun.
Yeah, unfurling her cock.
Yeah,
a particle.
So, I went to her website, and I grabbed a quote from her website because this is a quote. I'm like, man, she wrote that. She goes, as someone who wasn't born visually matching the cause of racial and social justice, her fight against oppression and racism has met opposition from both sides of the color line. Nonetheless, she has won numerous awards for her leadership in teaching. Similarly, her art has at times been dismissed, belittled, and criticized, yet has also garnered favorable attention and earned her full tuition scholarship for her Master's of Fine Art degree at Howard University, exhibition in 13 states, national awards, blah, blah. So in her book, In Full Color, it's like she's leaning hard into all this shit. So in her website, I will say this. She is a good artist. She's a good artist, but she's.
Can you put her art up?
I'll put some of it up, and she's got prices here for it. I thought about getting. It was let's see, an 8x10 charcoal.
Hold on,
portrait.
this just reminded me. Please subscribe to our Patreon so we can buy some outrageous.
But an 8x10 portrait, $400. 11x14, $600.
Do you think she'll do me in blackface?
I thought about it, and that was the thing. Every one of her pictures of artwork is black people.
Hell yeah!
And I mean, she grew up in Montana with like Norwegian parents.
But I mean, I think she had a brother, an adopted brother. I think that was African American. No,
didn't say.
Okay, I'm pretty sure. Tony, fact checker. So anyway,
that was all I was saying. It was like she does have an OnlyFans. She also sells all her art. She has a podcast. She has a book. She's not going away. She has decided to be a celebrity.
She is a turd that will not flush.
Yeah, she really is.
Okay, so now every time I hear something interesting that I'm like, I should at least tell people about this.
Yeah.
I use TNEP as my ability to do a PSA.
Okay.
Right. So here you go, listeners. Now, granted, most phones nowadays are waterproof, right? But when your phone gets wet, what's your immediate knee-jerk reaction?
Put it in rice.
Anyone else?
Correct? Wipe it off. Well, wipe it off, then you put it in rice.
I'm not talking about a dirty dick. Now, Apple has issued a new advisory for users, and it's going to contradict everything that we've all thought. It says, and I quote, "Don't put your iPhone in a bag of rice. Doing so could allow small particles of rice to damage your iPhone." And I'm saying iPhone, but I'm sure this goes for any electronics, your Androids, I'm an Android user. But I must admit that the uncooked rice has always been like my knee-jerk reaction. What?
I'm trying hard not to make a bad joke.
Okay.
Trying hard.
Okay. Go ahead.
No, I think there might be a chance there's already small rice particles in it.
Okay.
They didn't even wash their hands after lunch.
So this article reminded me of a time that
they 100% are eating rice during lunch over there.
I love rice.
I love rice too.
That's like
not trying to be racist.
So I gotta tell you right now. Actually, like I said, this is how much I love rice. Is that I can tell you for a fact that I can eat rice breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 4 years straight. Because in the Marines, like they just like bucket rice. Here's a scoop of rice for breakfast. Like yum.
Yeah.
With my egg, it's perfect. So anyway, so I must admit that the uncooked rice has always been my knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah.
Now this article reminded me of a time that I had to do this with my flip phone last year, and
you had a flip. Okay,
I'm joking. It was like 2007, man.
Jesus.
So
like, were you in Madagascar?
This is actually when you called your phone a camera phone, right? So no, seriously, like it was like, but instead of because remember there was like they're like, well, with your smartphone, now
we were watching something where it's like someone said like keyboards on phones was a real small window in history, like. It's like a 10-year window with Blackberries and stuff like that.
I was going to say Blackberry. Yeah.
That was one of the big reasons they're like, iPhone won't work because there's no keyboard. And Apple was like, we disagree.
Yeah.
Don't put it in rice.
So, anyway, the story actually does involve you, Jake.
Okay.
But we were at an MMA fight back in like 2007.
I remember.
And it was up in Madison, and we were this may shock some listeners, but we were drinking heavily. And so, but during one of the many times I had to go to the bathroom, because, the whole like broken seal concept here, I was forced to pee in a stall because it was the only open stall and all there's crowded urinals, right? So I'm like, well, obviously, Occam's razor, I'm going to do with this one, right? So when I walked into the stall, I realized why it was empty. It was because someone had taken a shit onto the toilet seat in an already clogged toilet.
Yeah, we were drinking. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was Jake, right? But anyway, so I started peeing into the toilet because I'm like, well, I'm just gonna treat it like any horrible like porta-john at a music festival. I'm just gonna, go log cutting or whatever you do. So so I started peeing this thing, and I thought I'll be a good friend, and I want Jake to be a part of this. So I take out my flip phone. And I'm trying to take a photo of this turd on the toilet seat to show Jake, And as I'm trying to do it, my drunk ass fumbles this phone into the toilet, the clogged toilet I'm peeing into.
Yeah.
So I don't break stream at all. I just cock!
Yeah.
And I just grab down, and I grab my phone out of the shitty poop
Yeah.
pee water.
It's where you turn the inner picture off in your head, and you just become a 1.
Yeah.
And you go get it.
But like it went down to like
or a 5.
yeah. It was like at the time I bet I was probably this is like $200. You know? so I scooped the thing out. I immediately like dropped the battery out. Right.
Yeah, you had brown rice after that.
Oh man. So
I will say that MMA fight, I almost died in that parking lot because I remember there was a luggage rack. The kind with the wheels
you were
and
like
the bar
Marty
over the top.
McFly.
Yeah, I got on that. And I remember I grabbed their license plate. I forgot who was driving, but I just was holding on.
I think I was taking pictures because I know I was. Maybe I was.
There is a picture of me just like but like they told me it got up to like 20 or 30 on this thing that could have easily rolled on this cracked up.
I mean, you had it was the whole luggage cart though. Like you had a roll cage, man.
Yeah, no. It would have turned into a fucking trebuchet. I think. It would have like slung me. Thankfully, it would have killed me on the launch.
It's just funny.
It was real dumb.
Oh man! All right. So anyway, so sorry about like the poop water like tangent, but that's immediately what I thought of because I was like, obviously, I've dropped my phone plenty of times, but like it's never been that bad, right? But now this is what Apple suggests you do with your phone instead, right?
Okay.
It says make sure your phone is unplugged and then hold it hold it so the charger port is down
and buy a new one.
And then but then it says just tap it. Just tap it against your hand.
That's all you gotta do.
Yeah, it says just basically like you
give
just
the old
spank
taparoo.
Yeah, you just spanking his little ass for a while, right? And then it says to let it air dry for 24 hours. And it says don't use any external heat or any compressed air because obviously you're pushing it into it. So anyway, so I granted like I saw that and I was like, how can I shoehorn my poop story?
Yeah,
like this poopy toilet seat story into it. So you said you have a catfish?
I do have a catfish.
All right,
yeah.
Let's get us out of this like shit story. But anyway, there you go. iPhone and Android, I guess. Like don't put it in rice anymore. Can I tell you like the worst joke?
Sure.
That I heard about this? I have to say that this is prefaced by the fact that it was told to me by my Asian friend. One of my Asian friends. What the fuck was that about? An Asian friend of mine, one of them, told me that.
Sounds like you don't have an Asian friend.
Where's my Asian friend?
Caucasian.
Yeah.
No. Anyway, so one of my many Asian friends told me, he said the reason why you put rice in it is because it's to attract them to come fix it while you sleep. And
tech support trap.
I told him I didn't like that. I said, don't say that kind of stuff around me.
So catfish. What's a
hear it.
catfish?
A catfish is where Jake has found a ridiculous article that happens to be true, and he's going to give me 2 bullshit ones, and I have to figure out which one is the real one and which 2 are the fake ones. Audience members, I hope you play along, and listeners, please goddamn play along.
Play along. All right, so number 1. Hoover Dam nude bungee jumping lost their business license over concerns of equipment. Number 2. Balls Out Bowling is back, where nudity is required.
Hell yeah.
Number 3. Barebacking bear country is now offered at Yellowstone.
Wait, what's the last one?
Barebacking bear country is now offered at Yellowstone.
Barebacking bear country? What does that mean?
Hiking nude.
Oh, okay. So before we go into it, I have to tell you this. I remember as a teenager, when you're prank calling, I prank called a bowling alley, and I did the whole do you have 2 16-pound balls? Right? And then it was like a girl that answered. I was like, hi, do you have 2 16-pound balls? And I was like, with a little squeaky, pubescent voice. And she's like, hold on. And so then, because obviously I'm like the third one to do this in the last 2 days, right? So then I'm like,
yeah,
like that. And so then it hands the phone over to a guy, and he goes, hi, what was your question? And I go, do you have 2 16-pound balls? And the guy goes, we do. Or he goes, I do. And I go, then how do you walk? Thinking that's my crescendo. I'm like, ah! Yeah. And he goes, very carefully. It's like, ah! So obviously he'd already heard it. So I'm gonna go with nude hiking.
Nude hiking.
I'm gonna go with nude hiking.
Okay. Got 1.
Number 1.
Rounding
Number
off
2.
with a 2.
Wow.
Okay.
We.
All right. So here's the answer. Balls Out Bowling will be held at the Crafton Ingram Lanes in Pittsburgh,
serious?
Pennsylvania.
Oh my God!
On Sunday.
Hey Siri, how do you book me a flight?
Yeah, April 20. All right. So the event is for anyone over the age of 18.
Like naked bowling?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Whether you're a seasoned pro, this is their thing. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a beginner at this event, it's for everyone. Nudity is required with the exception that women can wear bottoms. I didn't get that.
Fuck that. I need to see your flaps. If my hang down's
it's
out.
not Madagascar, ladies. Come on.
No,
also,
that's bullshit, man.
Sexual activity is not permitted.
Can I just say this? I think titties are more naked than like a woman just standing there, like just standing.
Yeah.
Not like titties out are way more naked than like no bottoms. Am I right?
Yeah, I'm
just saying, like if you had a man standing naked and a woman standing naked, not even like arms akimbo, just arms at your side, like which one looks more naked? Obviously the dick out.
Well,
and if you had to pick,
I will say this might be the most naked I would ever feel in my life, because if you were naked and wearing shoes, didn't that seem like just?
I think I saw a thing that said like wearing shoes while naked feels more naked than being naked.
That's what. Yeah, like.
And especially being, dude, I've seen so many like bowling fails. I would be the one to like slip, and then everyone sees my.
Oh, maybe that's why women can wear bottoms, so they don't get stuck. If they wipe out.
Oh, just on the. Are you saying like we just lost our 2 listeners that are female.
Listen, if there's any women listening to us, they are the most awesome people.
Yeah, you guys are cool, man.
Out there, and we appreciate you immensely. So, and we know that you don't have thin skin. 'Cause that's not even that bad. We can get way worse than that one.
Huh. I really thought it was going to be naked hiking.
I hoped it would be. Sunburns would be awful, and the ticks.
The fucking dick ticks?
Yeah. It'd be awful. What was that?
The chick barnacled herself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I like how you whispered it coyly.
Yeah, I heard it.
Like we're not gonna be like, oh.
That's a great callback.
Yeah, the one of the listeners in the audience just said the woman would barnacle herself to the floorboards.
Like it would be hiding her face. And actually, that reminds me of something happened at work for me.
When you got barnacled?
Well, no, Joel and Amanda were talking, and Amanda's like our liaisons for everything the kids are saying, and they classify different people as different things. And apparently Joel was classified as a wolf for some reason. So everybody was like, "Oh, what am I?" And she said to me, she goes, "I think you're a prawn." And I'm like, "What's a prawn?" She's like, "It's everything but the face is nice."
Yeah.
I'm like,
she said basically it's a butterface.
Yeah.
And like I was like her because I said because what Jake failed to mention is
I like District 9.
Is that she was telling us the gay terminology for different men, and she said that Joel was a wolf, and I don't remember what that one was. She said I was a cub because I wasn't big enough to be a bear, and that kind of I don't know why that hurt my feelings.
She was hurting everyone's feelings that
like
day.
Yeah.
Hey.
And then
friend's gay.
Oh, fair enough.
I
all right. We need Jordan here.
Maybe a koala.
But then
she smaller bear.
But then she said that Jake was a prawn. And I said, "What's a prawn?" She said, "Basically, it's like a butterface. You pop the head off, and the body's good." And Jake goes, "I have a good body." I
don't. I thought it was because I wasn't deep hooped.
All right. You know what? Honestly, I thought I had more stories, but I'm gonna go. I've got a catfish.
Yeah, let's just do that.
You ready to enter on catfish?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Same rules apply. All right. Sue, number 1. To promote concession revenue, theater chain offers 90 minutes of movie trailers for free. Number 2. Taxpayers voice frustration over county's plan for additional slow lane expansion. Number 3. Supermarket chains opens slow checkout lane to help fight loneliness.
I don't understand how you would fight loneliness. The first one
I'll read
was
them again.
I could see movie theaters doing that because like I just sat through 20 minutes of it.
I'll read them again.
Okay.
To promote concession revenue, number 1. To promote concession revenue, theater chain offers 90 minutes of movie trailers for free. Number 2, taxpayers voice frustration over county's plan for additional slow lane expansion. Number 3, supermarket chain opens slow checkout lane to help fight loneliness.
So I'm gonna go with number 1, because it didn't make sense at first, but then like, so people come in to watch. Some people do like trailers a ton, and it would make sense that maybe they want popcorn as they watch trailers. So I could see that being a thing. So I'm gonna go number 1, number 2, and number 3. Got a good spread.
So I'm gonna be honest with you. I knew you just bought a popcorn bucket, and I knew you just went to the movie theaters.
You played me,
and I played you like a fiddle, you piece of shit.
Get back here, Dune bucket.
Yeah, go ahead and go fuck your fleshlight.
I love this thing.
Yeah. Oh my god, I can't wait to not see that.
Dude, my dog was sitting next to this thing, and I realized like my dog is a Dune popcorn bucket version of a dog. Like it's a popcorn bucket, but it's stupid. The way my dog is a dog, but it's stupid.
So this article actually came out in March 2023. A Dutch supermarket operator Jumbo introduced leisurely chat checkouts where customers and cashiers can engage in conversation. These checkouts aim to combat loneliness and foster community interaction, complementing the chat corners managed by local foundations. With over 125 slow checkouts across the Netherlands and Belgium, Jumbo expands its initiative. I mean, this is a nightmare, right?
This is a nightmare of a job for a person. Are you kidding?
I'd be like, cool, this is great.
Yeah.
You know, so
clean up on an aisle. Clean up on ceiling tile 5.
Oh man! So
they
anyway,
keep talking to you. Oh, you slipped.
The story isn't so much great as it is long. All right, so or no, there's your 90s Simpsons reference. Yeah. Remember the Grandpa Simpson? He's like, we wore an onion on our belt because that was the time. All right, so anyway, so the similar concepts have emerged with other grocers worldwide, reflecting a shift towards human-centered retail experiences that cater to diverse consumer segments, particularly addressing the needs of aging populations and single households. And like,
I mean, we'll do it here, but it'll just be Chat GPT. They'll be like, "How are you today?"
Yeah.
Just like,
how are their grandkids? Yeah. Jimmy did what?
Yeah.
So
clean up on aisle.
The computer just blowing his brains out. It's like
why was I programmed to feel time?
No, from remember Rick and Morty with the butter passer?
Yeah,
it's like
you talk to old people.
What is my purpose? To talk to old people? Oh my god!
Yeah, welcome to the club.
All right, so like I said, I think it's very sweet.
It is,
but I also hope I don't accidentally get stuck on one of these lines.
I get stuck in these lines. Normally,
yeah,
I will like to be like, go get in the slow line.
Yeah, honestly, it's like I will like assess the situation. I'm like, that's a talker. I'm like, I'm going to self checkout. Yeah. Like, I don't care. You know, like
if she's got 2 purses, don't get behind her. That's a coupon purse. That's 30 minutes of your life you ain't getting back.
Just like one of those accordion folders.
Yeah,
just different coupons.
Yeah.
So all right, well, we'll end on this. Tony said a horrific fact.
Okay.
But I think that if you happen to know somebody that stretches their ears out, right? What are those called?
Gauges.
Yeah. So I don't know if you realize what you just said, but you just said gauges. So there you go. What is it called again?
Gauges?
Yeah. Hell yeah, it is.
I hear it now.
That's if you can.
Gauges.
That's if you can hear him coming.
What do you think, Shut Hello?
That's if you hear him coming. So anyway, this has been episode 135. Yeah. Thank you very much. Go get your tickets at cabinlaughs.com. Yeah. Go see Comedy Cabin. And I'm Adam Gages Riley.
I'm Jake Muadi Bussy.
All right. Later, boners.
Dune nerds will get that one.
Yeah. What's Dune?
Yeah.
You know, I like that if you scramble up Dune, it spells nude, which is what I'm about.